Hi, this is Simon Bailey from Portable Scientific, and today I'm going to be taking you through a quick start guide to the Bruker S1 Titan 800 handheld XRF. When you get your new Bruker, you'll want to check that the battery is fully charged before you insert it into the bottom of the XRF, which is here. To turn the instrument on, you press and hold the power here, and you'll see some lights start up. And the instrument will light up. There we go. So that's starting. I'll run this through the remote control package so that you can see what I'm doing on the screen. Once you've turned the instrument on, if you are running it through this remote package, you will need to connect via USB cable to your computer, and you can activate the Bruker remote control app. You simply go to File, Connect. It will then pop up with the serial number of the instrument. And that's now displaying the screen. So to log in, we go log in. I always log in as supervisor. There are a lot of functions that are not available as if you log in as a typical user. A typical user is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you log in as supervisor, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 gives you access to things like editing naming fields. Once you've gone and logged in, it will ask you to tap the trigger to accept the safety warnings, and we're now ready to test, as you can see on the screen. The first thing that you will want to do is you want to choose the mode that you're using. So top left button is application, and at the moment it's set to geochem exploration or geo exploration. And within geo exploration, there are 4 subroutines. So if we go down to method, you can see those 4 subroutines there. There's a couple of oxide phases and there's a couple of sulfide phases, and just choose the correct method appropriate for you. If you're not in exploration and you're in mining and you want to deal with higher concentrations, you would switch to mining mode, but let's leave it at exploration for now. The next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to set up your beam times. So for that, we click on settings. And here your beam times here. At the moment, we have it set to 3 beams at 10 seconds per beam. The auto trigger is on, which means I don't need to hold the trigger in to continue the reading. Your note fields are down the bottom, edit info. When we click on that, you have the ability to create and delete new fields and set them up accordingly. So if I click on a field here, I can go into configure and I can uncheck those fields. I can decide whether that field is just a typical text field, whether it is a counter, an order increment field, or whether it is a list field where it's going to give me the option to add a drop-down list. So if I want to add a new field, I can add a new field. I can call it training. Okay. I want this to be a list field. And when I click on that field there, I can add now the different elements for the list. So if I want it to be test 1 and test 2, they are now options here, test 1 and test 2. So first, now we're going to take a reading. So I have my X-shot tool to hold my standard. I've just got a typical Aureus standard. This one is a 753, which I believe is a lithium standard. Load the standard into the X-shot. The X-shot you can load loose samples in there as well and use the supplied spatula to scrape it flat. And now we're testing. So it's going through beam 1 in the oxide phase, beam 2, which has some additional heavier metals. And beam 3, which has some lighter elements. So that is finished. I can now label this sample. If I go to edit info, I can label it with whatever I want. And OK. And finally, you want to export the data. The easiest way to export the data is directly to the USB drive that is at the back of the instrument, the blue USB drive. So to do that, we back out of this screen, we go into Utilities, we go to Backup Data, and we're going to copy the data from the onboard SD card to the USB drive, and we execute. Once we've executed that, I can take the USB out, put it in my computer, and open up the file. Let's do that now. Take the USB out, plug it into my computer, go to the Store and Go drive, Data, and you can see down the bottom, these PDZ files, they're Spectra files that you can open in the supplied software, and then you can go through the whole process again from your computer. But for now, it's just exported all the results to one Excel spreadsheet. And here's the spreadsheet. All the metadata's here, all the elemental results. And if we scroll right to the end, you'll see there's the info that I entered in about my results. That's a very basic how-to quick start guide on the Bruker S1 Titan 800. If you want to learn anything more about XRF, training, accessories, purchase, please contact us, Simon at portablescientific.com.au. Thanks for watching.